Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Excuse the mess, I've literally just got out of bed and come downstairs, so I look a complete mess. But today we're doing another day in the life. This time it's of Emmy at 6 months old, actually 6.5 months old now because she's a big girl. And this is just going to be a quick intro because the camera's running out of battery, but we've just got up. Emmy's had her milk this morning. She's talking in the background. She's had her milk in bed, and as you can see I'm still in my pyjamas, so we've just, blurry. That's a bit better. We've just come downstairs, we're gonna have some breakfast, and then we'll go and get ready, but I need to hurry up because this is running out of batteries. But a quick introduction to Emmy this morning. Hello. What are you up to? You had to freeze now the camera's on you. Give me a smile for the camera, please. So at the moment, Emmy is sitting very, very confidently. She started doing this just before 5 months, sitting by herself. Oh, that's nice. You're ready for your breakfast, aren't you? And she's now making attempts to crawl, so you might see some of that during the day today. So today we've got a day at home, and we've got baby sensory happening later. So let's go make some breakfast. She's avoiding you, baby. She's avoiding you. Because you tried to get her. You're demanding your breakfast? So, I mean, I've just sat down for our breakfast. We're having some yoghurt and raspberries. There's her little doily cup of water. So here's mine. It's the same yoghurt raspberries, but I've got a bit of muesli in mine, just for something else. She hasn't had any muesli yet, and I'm not sure if it's appropriate for babies or not, but we'll see. Don't escape! I haven't strapped her in because she keeps eating the straps in the high chair, and I'm strapped right next. I'm sat right next to her, so I can grab her if she tries to escape. But you know, so this is our new high chair. This was from Amazon. We just wanted a wooden one that matched our table. We've got a £2 shower curtain underneath it from Amazon, and I'm going to get going because she's starving apparently. Demanding it. That's her way of demanding her food, bashing on the table. Normally we're doing finger foods now, but she really loves yogurt, so a bit of yogurt on a morning with a spoon occasionally. Otherwise we've been doing eggs, we had eggs and an egg and mushroom omelette, just a mushroom omelette yesterday for breakfast. Had scrambled eggs. She had some toast the other day. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice. Still too early for mummy. It's, what is it now, about 8:15, something like that. We were up at normal time. We were up at 7, Ben and I, and Emmy was up at 7:20 in her own room. Cat, yes, cat. Right, you're going to slide out of there, so we're going to get on. Ready? Ooh, we've got some hair in it. You ready? Do you want it? Go on then. You only got the tiniest taste then, silly. You ready? Ready? Oops, we missed. Open. Cat? Been distracted by a cat? Someone likes the raspberries, don't they? Good girl. This is the first time she's had raspberries. She loves fruit. She loves oranges especially. We might give her an orange at lunchtime so you can see that. But she's absolutely loving these raspberries and smushing them to pieces, and I didn't put on a bib or anything to protect her. What a mess. We've been doing breakfast in sleep suits lately. I won't focus on you, Emmy, so I won't look at the screen. I've been doing breakfast in sleep suits recently and then putting her back down to bed in them, but with the raspberries this might not work so well. She might have to get dressed for her morning nap. We'll see how it goes because this is looking messy. girl, well done. Now we finished breakfast and we're on to our next stage of the morning routine, which has completely changed since last time, because last month we did showers straight away after getting up and giving her a milk feed, but now we'll go downstairs first, then we come back up. So we're back up here for a shower now, and as you can see, somebody's covered in raspberries. So, like I always have done, I've laid out a towel on the floor for her to chill on, but I've had to lay it out bigger now because she rolls away and tries to escape. And I don't think we've got much longer left at doing this. I think we're going to have to find some sort of containment device while I have a shower now, because she's determined to crawl away now. You aren't you? So I'm going to have a shower, and then we'll go and get me dressed, and then it's pretty much time for Emmy's morning nap. And what are you doing? You trying to get Mummy's phone? Oh no, you collapsed! You collapsed! And now we're down to the next level of getting ready. While I get dressed, Emmy smashes things apart on her skip hop activity centre thing. And I've got to get dressed and just get depressed about the state of this room. We're going on holiday on Friday, so we're in the middle of packing, and I mean that's currently what it looks like. So I'm going to get on with this later, and there's a cat there. Going to get on with this while Emmy has her morning nap, which is why I need to hurry up and get her down for it. Okay, and I'm just about to go put this moany pants over there down for a nap. But a quick look at my outfit. This is all from a brand called Lucy and Yak, the top and the pinafore in mustard yellow. I got these yesterday, and as you always do with new clothes, I just had to wear them both together at the same time. Right, nap time. Nap time, because it's nearly 20 to 10 and you're supposed to be down at 9:30, aren't you? Aren't you? You ready? Come on then. Emmy is now down for her nap, as you can see on the monitor there. So we're using just, oh, if I can, there we go. We're using just some basically webcams as monitors, like security cameras around the house, as monitors for when we're downstairs. We've got a proper one that's upstairs in our bedroom for overnight, which I'll talk about in a minute. Her nap routine is basically exactly the same as it was last month, except for the fact that we don't use that shushing soundtrack anymore. We just use normal white noise coming from her My Hummy. I'm currently feeding her, just doing a little top-up feed, the sort of 20 minutes or so before I put her down for a nap. So just before I got dressed, I gave her a very quick feed in sort of 3 or 4 minutes, just to help her sleep a bit longer. And I don't know if that's been helping, so I've been using that in combination with like all the usual, like the routine that we do and everything, but she's started sleeping a lot longer for nap times most of the time nowadays. I say that, she's going to wake up in 10 minutes now, isn't she? So it's like 9:45 now. And ideally I'd like her to sleep until 11-ish so that we can fit everything else in today. But it could just be another half an hour nap, or it could be a 2-hour nap, which is how some of them have been going nowadays. Generally they've been just over an hour, which has been really nice, and I've been able to get on with some things. I think that's because she's come up to 6 months old, and at 6 months old apparently their naps start to consolidate a bit more, and you get, so some days we've actually managed to have just 2 long naps, which is crazy considering even just a month ago, even less than a month ago, we were still having 4 or 5 naps a day sometimes if they were only 20 minutes long. So the majority of the naps I'm trying to get for her in her own bed, because she's a lot more comfortable there. She can wriggle around. She started sleeping on her front sometimes now, so she'll flip over and fall asleep on her front, and I think that's also contributed to how well she's sleeping during naps and at night time. But yes, as I was saying anyway, so I gave the feed, went into her room, we do white noise, we put the lights onto low, I put on a little like spinning light thing so that she can watch that while I put her into a sleeping bag and do a nappy change. Then we read a book for a few minutes on the chair, and then I lay her down. Generally, she starts trying to put herself to sleep now, so she rocks her head like this when she's trying to go to sleep. She starts doing that while I put her into a sleeping bag on her changing mat, which is really cute, but I'm like, Emmy, you don't have to sleep on the changing mat, don't worry. I think it's just because I'm putting her down at the right time for her at the moment. We've just managed to hit a good spot for putting her down, sort of 9:30 when she's woken up at 7, seems to work really well. And also just all the associations with sleep that she has. So like we go into the dark room, we've got the white noise on, I'm singing to her, and I lay her into a sleeping bag and she's like, oh cool, I'll sleep now. Quite often she'll start to drop off while I'm reading to her as well, so her eyes go and her face starts like dropping down like this, and so at that point I have to stop reading, pop her down the cot, because I want her down drowsy but awake still, because then she again sleeps better. So yes, so she's down for that at the moment, and I've got lots of work to be getting on with while that happens. I say work, it's just cleaning and packing and tidying, and I did a little bit of tidying of that spare room while I was up there, and I've grabbed this pile of stuff, hopefully you can see that because I've got the screen flipped round, that I'm going to pack now for our holiday. But I'm going to take you with me for a little second, because I've heard that the cats have brought me a treat. Ah, delightful, there it is. They never bring in mice. This is like the second time they've done it in this house. So right, I've got that to clear up. So we've moved out of this room now that it's coming back into winter. And this is my next job, tidy up this and tidy up in there a little bit, and then I can get on with the packing. So I've got some fun jobs to do that I've got to try and squeeze in, hopefully in the hour that she's asleep. It could be half an hour, so we're going to try and squeeze that all in. Tidy. The mouse is gone and I've emptied the kitchen bin. Time to do some packing. We're about 25 minutes or so into Emmy's nap, so there's like a danger zone around 28 minutes and a danger zone around 45 minutes that she could wake up at. So yes, I've already done Emmy's packing, which is all in here. This is one packing cube. So this is what we're doing this trip. We're doing packing cubes. We've done these when we went to the Peak District, and they worked really, really well to keep everything organised and just compact all in one space. So Emmy's is all in here. This is all of her clothes and all of her pyjamas. I've already done my clothes as well. So this is all the clothes that I'm taking in a packing cube too. So that's shorts, dresses, tops all along there. I've got a belt, a jumper. I could do with putting a cardigan in actually. There's a jumpsuit as well. I've got bikinis on the way at the moment. Because it turns out absolutely none of mine fit me, which is really sad. Then we've got Ben's packing stalls too. So we've got an empty cube. We've got all his stuff in here. We've also got another cube which I'm going to put underwear into. Both mine and Ben's is going to go in here, and pyjamas as well, I think. And all of this will end up in this suitcase. So we bought a couple of these trip suitcases, but this one is huge. It's really for taking to Florida, we bought it, but we thought we'd try it for Italy, but we have a feeling that it's going to end up being too heavy. So we're going to see what happens, but we've got our old suitcases still that we can put things into. But we'll see what happens with these first. So the battery wasn't where I thought it would be, so I'm just going to go until I either run out of battery, run out of things to say, or Emmy wakes up. So we'll see what happens. In terms of nighttime sleeps, we talked about naps earlier, but night times, Emmy is now sleeping in her own room. So bang on 6 months, she started getting really, well, it was leading up to 6 months, sort of 5.5 months, she started getting cranky in the night. She was waking up 3 or 4 times and crying when she did. And we were a bit like, what's the problem? Is she teething? What's going on? And I noticed that she was kicking a lot. She's always kicked a lot, but she was kicking and then waking up with this cry after she'd kicked. And so we thought, well, maybe it's because her next to me, her little cot that goes next to our bed, is too small for her, because she was hitting the bottom and sort of then banging her head on the top, and it's only soft side, so it's not like it's hurting her, but bumping her head on the top, and it was rattling the whole thing, and it was making a big shaking noise. And I think we think it was giving her a bit of a shock, and she was going, oh my goodness, and waking up and then being like, ah, and like crying. So that would end up waking her up and I'd have to feed her to get back to sleep or like comfort her somehow. And it was starting to wear us out a little bit because she's never been a baby that wakes up 3 or 4 times a night. We've been really lucky with that. Apart from like the newborn week, she's always slept really quite well at night. So we thought we would give it a go, trying her in her own room a bit. So what we've been doing up until 6 months was putting her into her own room between 7 and 10, and then I would go and get her at that time and bring her up to our room where she would have a dream feed, and then go in her next to me, and then we'd all go to sleep. And we did wonder if this was disturbing her sleep a little bit as well. We didn't really know if she needed the dream feed anymore, so we thought, well, there's no harm in trying to see what would happen. So we, instead of, it was the first night of August, instead of going to get her out of her room at the 10 o'clock time, we just left her and said at first wake up she can come into our room and it'll be what it'll be. I'll feed her if she needs to. So first wake up came, it was, I can't remember really, but it was morning, it was sort of 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, so she'd slept from around 7:30 until that time, absolutely fine in her own room, so she didn't need that dream feed. She woke up at that time, was a bit like, oh hey, like didn't cry, she just talked a little bit, so I went down and got her, fed her, put her back down to sleep next to me, and she fell asleep until we needed to get her up. And we were like, wow, okay, cool, maybe it was a once off. So we did the same the next night, and she did the same, and the next night it was the same. And we've now had a couple of nights where she's actually slept all the way from 7 till, not quite 7 yet, but about 6:30 we've had, and then she's come up into our room and either we've all got up then or she's fallen asleep again. But it's made a huge difference to her sleep again, because she was getting so antsy in this next to me bed, and now she's in her own cot. She can roll around, she rolls all the way up to the top of it, she rolls all the way back down to the bottom again, she gets in her tummy, she like rolls around laughing to herself, and then she just goes to sleep when she feels like she's ready for it. A lot of the time she goes to sleep basically straight away, which is nice. But sometimes, yeah, she has this little play around first, and she's just so much happier in there. She's not waking up crying anymore, and if she does, it's normally during nap time, so it means she wants to carry on sleeping and she's woken up a bit early. So we know to go back in and resettle her with a bit of patting or something. So yeah, so that's her nighttime sleep, and it's now, I've been saying August this whole time, haven't I? And it was September. Yeah, so it was start of September, it was the 1st of September when she turned 6 months. I can't believe it's September, this is the problem. I thought like, oh, September is in the future, like 6 months is never gonna happen. It's like 6 months, and I always said I wouldn't put her into her own room straight away at 6 months. I thought we'll wait until she's a little bit older. I don't mind her being in our room, I quite liked it. But the day she turned 6 months, it was like, she wants to try it. It was her that decided. She was like, I'm done with this room now, I'm done with being with mummy and daddy, I want to be in my own room. And that was it. She's been in her own room now, and yeah, it's been really, really weird. For the first few nights I couldn't sleep like at all. I was watching the monitor all the time. Well, I did sleep, I just didn't sleep well, and the monitor was really bright as well, so we've actually bought a new monitor which switches off unless it senses motion or sound, and that's been really good because it comes on immediately as soon as she moves, but it's not too loud and it works really well. So we're sleeping better because she's not banging her feet and waking us up in the middle of the night. She's sleeping better, and it's possibly because Ben's not snoring at her as well. And everybody's happy. Apart from the fact that I'm sad because she's not in her room anymore and she's over 6 months old, and it's really weird, but yeah, so that's her nighttime sleep at the moment. What's the other thing I was going to talk about? Feeding. Feeding in terms of breastfeeding hasn't really changed all that much. So we've been doing solids now for about a month and a half. We started with purees here and there. She's still asleep, just checking. Started with purees here and there just to get little tastes of things, and we've now moved on to really traditional baby-led weaning kind of things, where she's ideally having the same meals as us. I'm trying to do 2 a day if I can, so breakfast and lunch mostly, but some days it's like she might just have some lunch or she might just have some breakfast. So she might have yogurt with me on a morning, she might have omelette, like you saw she had some yogurt with me earlier. Then lunchtime we're having the same meals where possible. So yesterday, for example, I made some falafels out of sweet potato, chickpeas, garlic, cumin, things like that. We had a courgette and cheddar muffin, which I'd made a few days before as well. These were that was out of a book called Young Gums, which I'd really recommend because it's got recipes for the whole family, so everybody can enjoy it. It's not just for the baby. And she also had an orange slice and some avocado yesterday for lunch. And it's not like she's eating all of this. She's not like taking big bites out of it and swallowing it all, but she's tasting everything and putting it all to her mouth and definitely biting and swallowing quite a lot of it. And yeah, the milk feeds are still the same. She's having water with her meals, just a little doily cup or an open top cup, because she will not have a bottle. She will not have a sippy cup. She's a big girl who wants a cup like mummy, so she drinks out of her open cup or a glass. And milk feeds haven't decreased at all yet, which isn't to be expected. I think up until a year they say food is just for fun, but they are getting nutrition from it. Over time it starts to build up. But their milk feeds shouldn't start to decrease until they're really properly getting proper meals 3 times a day. At least that's what I've heard. Again, I always say this, I'm not the expert on these things, so don't listen to me. But this is my experience so far. Her feeds, last time I spoke to her, I think they'd got a lot shorter, and they're still quite short, usually under 7 or 8 minutes, but we get the occasional like 10-minute one thrown in. And then her nighttime feeds, if she wakes up in the night, I'm trying to limit them because she would just go as long as she wants to. She just carries on comfort sucking afterwards. I seem to have stopped packing here. I've organised things into piles, but anyway, she would carry on comfort sucking for ages afterwards if she could in a nighttime feed until she just fell off asleep. So I try to limit them when she does wake up in the night, because at the moment she's not necessarily always waking up. She might wake up but roll around and talk to herself a bit. That's not even mine. I'm confused. Anyway, what was I saying? Nighttime feeds, yes. So sometimes she just wakes up and rolls around a little bit and talks to herself and then goes back to sleep. If she starts shouting, then we know that she wants me to come and get her or me to feed her. So if she wakes up before 5 o'clock in the night, I go down to her room, because she's on a different floor to us, which was one of the big scary things about it. But anyway, I go down to her room, I'll feed her in there and then put her back to bed in her cot, because she doesn't like to be up in our room, like I said, anymore. So if it's before 5 o'clock, she goes back into her own bed. If it's after 5 o'clock, she comes up, and we've still got the next to me set up in our room, and she'll go into that. But yeah, so what I'm trying to do at the moment is limit those nighttime feeds as such, because she doesn't necessarily need it is a thing, but I'll limit it at 20 minutes, so 10 minutes on each side, and generally she does quicker, so it might be 6 or 7 minutes on each side. The feeds are sleepier, so they take a bit longer, but I'm limiting it at 20 minutes. And if she still wants more after, like if she doesn't go to sleep then, or she wakes up again, I will go back down and feed her. It's not like I'm going, that's it, you're not having any more food. But I know that when it gets to that point, she's not really feeding anymore, or isn't at all feeding anymore. She's just sucking because it's fun and comforting. So I'm stopping there, just because otherwise I'm sat there like falling asleep in the chair. She's just held in my arms, and then she'll get disturbed when I lay her back down if she's falling asleep while she's feeding. So that's why we're limiting that. And yes, we'll just carry on as normal. I am occasionally trying to throw in a cup feed of milk where I can out of the doily cup, just because we've got this week in Italy, and then the week after I'm going back to work, which is quite scary. I'm really looking forward to it. And I say going back to work, I'm doing 1 day at home and 1 day in the office. And the day in the office, she's going to be with my mum, and she'll be able to feed her out of the cup that day. But it just means getting a bit of practice in first, because we know that she can drink out of the cup. She drinks water out of the cup and she absolutely loves it. And she will drink the milk out of the cup, but she's just not a big fan, so she just has little sips of it. So I'm trying to build it up to the point where she's getting enough of the milk from the cup, because I don't want it to be that I get home at the end of the day and she's only had like little bits here and there, because she's just not interested in the cup. So I'm trying to get her more used to it. So yes, that's happening in about 2 weeks' time, which is scary. The other day of the week I'm going to be working at home. So Thursdays I'm at work, Tuesdays I'm going to be working at home, but Ben's mum is going to be here looking after Emmy those days. So basically I'll go upstairs or wherever I'm setting up my laptop, and I'll be working, and Ben's mum will be down here with her playing on this mat, this amazing mat which I bought the other day. It's squishy. I've been advertising these on Facebook for ages, and we got one off Amazon. It's squishy, it means you can sit on it, and it's wipe clean and everything. It's really, really useful. Anyway, she'll be down here. They'll be playing together down here, and she can just come to me for feeds whenever she needs them. And if I'm needed to do anything like drive them somewhere, then I'm there with the car and the car seat. And that is what my life is going to be in 2 weeks, which will be very interesting. So this is my last, probably my last video of maternity. Well, it will definitely be my last video of maternity leave, because we're going on holiday on Friday. We've got the week, and then we come back and I'm straight into work. So my last video of maternity leave. It's really weird to think that maternity leave is finished. Anyway, I'm rambling and I'm supposed to be getting on with packing. So I think I'm going to go because the camera's about to run out of batteries. I'm really proud it's lasted this long, actually. Proud? Really surprised it's lasted this long. And I need to get on with the packing because Emmy will probably wake up soon, and then I'll be stuck with all these all over here, and she'll want to roll around in the clothes like she did the other day and make a mess. It's nearly 11:30 and I've just had to wake Emmy up by switching off her white noise because we need to get to the post office, and we also need to get to baby sensory at 1 o'clock, and we need to fit lunch in. So I've had to wake her up, and I've been watching on the monitor and she's just come to, so we're gonna go in and get her. So, oh, there's Emmy's, that's Emmy's naming day dress. I'll talk about that at some point, or blog about that. This is the song that we have to sing when we go in to get Emmy up. Who's that baby sleeping in the bed? Who's that baby sleeping in the bed? Is it Emmy? Is it Emmy? Hello, baby. Right, should we get you out this sleeping bag then? We'll switch the scary camera off, shall we? And then we're going to go for a walk. We need to get you dressed. Hello, little girl. What are you wearing? So we've got Emmy dressed, and she's wearing a little outfit from F&F Tesco. And she's trying to escape and crawl away. This is what we're going to be practicing today, I think, isn't it? Oh, dear. So it's a little cord pinafore that matches what I'm wearing, with a stripy top and little tights with toe and heel detail, I guess it would be, in mustard. And someone really wants Mummy's phone. And we've got to hurry up and get to the post office, don't we? And I think that you might need something to eat first. Yeah, we'd better do a feed first, because when we get back she's going to have lunch. So we're going to have to do a really quick feed, because it's already nearly 20 to 12. We're going to rush to the post office and come back and have some lunch. Oh, bye. Emmy! Come on then. Let's go. You're showing off your rolling skills for the camera now. Come on then. So I'm filming Emmy inside my selfie because I feel stupid walking along the road filming myself. But we're off on our post office walk now, which we always seem to do when we're filming a video for some reason. And I always seem to manage to get the camera out at just the wrong time because we need to cross the road. Luckily it's a zebra crossing and it's clear, so off we go. At the moment I've just been selling some old clothes and things that don't fit me anymore since having Emmy. So that's why we're off to the post office to get those sent. And we've decided actually we're not going to do lunch for her when we get back, because this is the problem with weaning. It takes up a whole lot of time. Bum, 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 bum. It's a bit bumpy, isn't it? It's a bit bumpy. So yes, like breakfast this morning took half an hour. Lunch I was anticipating at least half an hour for, but I don't think we're going to have time to squeeze that in, and I don't want to rush her to finish eating. I think we'll swap lunch for an afternoon/evening meal for Emmy, so for a tea. So that'll probably be about 4:30, 5ish when we get back from Baby Sensory and Tesco later on. So yeah, we're in a bit of a rush to get to the post office. Actually, we're not in so much of a rush now because we're not going to do lunch. It's not quite so bad. Hi! Emmy, hi! Hello! Is that tasty? We've just got back in from our walk and I've just dumped Emmy here so I could put the pushchair away. We keep the pushchair in the car. Oh, lovely. We keep the pushchair in the car just because it's like the easiest space to keep it. We don't really have much storage space in the house, so putting it in the boot of the car is a really handy place to keep it, and it's there when I need it when we're out and about. So I'm going to go and heat up my lunch. I've got some leftovers from last night. And I think I'm just going to try and give Emmy just something like a bit of cucumber or something from the fridge, just because I feel really bad that I'm going to be eating and she isn't. She should be having some of the cannelloni that we had for tea last night with me. But the problem is she will get into a right mess with that, and it might take her a while to eat it. Just because it's a bit messy and I'd have to rinse her off afterwards. And we've only got really 25 minutes, half an hour until we need to leave to baby sensory. So we are not going to fit that in this time. Oh, so I'll go and have a look at what we've got for Emmy, and I'll heat my lunch up. And she's going to play here while I do that and make these delightful noises. Now this is some terribly lazy parenting, I'm sorry Emmy, but our cucumber was mouldy, so Emmy's having some melty puffs. She tried these at the start of the end of last week I think it was, for the first time, and she quite liked them, but like I said, I just wanted something little to give her while I'm having my lunch, which we're eating on the floor because, like I said, this is terribly lazy parenting happening here. So this is going to get lovely and smushed into this mat, but luckily it's wiped clean. And I'm starving, so I'm going to eat mine, and hopefully Emmy's going to eat up her melty puffs. So she seems to be enjoying her melty puffs so far. No, oh, you're not. No. Yes, you are. So far, she's managed to reduce the other two to this sort of husk that she was holding on to that went soggy. Now she's trying to crunch away into her next one. I know these aren't like a proper meal, these are supposed to be for snacks, but like I said, we're just sort of tasting food with her at the moment, and I just felt bad that I was eating when she should be. Normally I'd give her food at this point, but we just really don't have time for her to have a proper meal, and we're still just experimenting. You've got a big bit in your mouth there, you be careful. Luckily these are melty, so she shouldn't have too many problems with them. Good girl. We're just still experimenting with different foods, different flavours and textures and things at the moment. So this isn't for nutrition or anything like that. It's just learning about food and meal times and eating, even though it's a terrible example of a meal time because we're sat on the floor. It's a special meal, Emmy, special meal. And here we'll demonstrate an Emmy classic. The hiccups. There we go, right on cue. Oh, hello, tummy. Can see your tummy. Oh, where's Emmy gone? There she is. Where's Emmy gone? There she is. Eating peekaboo. So I just tried to give her some water, but she's hiccuping too hard for her water. She gets hiccups at least, there she is, at least once a day, and always has done ever since she was born, ever since she was in my tummy. So at least we've got them now rather than at baby sensory. So today's only our second baby sensory class. We went to one last week. Don't you grab my camera strap, you cheeky. Yeah, so we went to one last week and it was absolutely manic. It was crazy, but it was a lot of fun. And oh, Emmy, how did you manage that? What happened? Come here, let me rescue you. What? Who's that? She just really wants the camera and she keeps falling over trying to get it. So, I'll let you see yourself then. There we go. Oh, we're standing up. Whoa! You fell over. Oh dear. Sit back up. We're struggling here, aren't we? Stand up. Stand there. Here we go. You gonna look in there? Who's that? Who is it? Look up. You look bald with that light behind you there. Where's your hair gone? Well, we'll vlog from down here, shall we? Should we vlog from down here? So like I said, our second baby sensory class, it takes about 20 minutes or so to drive there. Oh, you're rolling away. Oh, great. Good vlogging. Good vlogging, Emmy. You've rolled out a picture. So it takes about 20 minutes or so to get there. So my plan is to set off, so it starts at 1:30. Plan is to set off at just before 1, which is, how far away? It's 1:45 now. Because I want her to get a nap in the car, even just 10-15 minutes to tide her over, because ideally her nap time would be right in the middle of baby sensory. So we want a little bit of a nap in the car, and then we're going to go to Tesco afterwards, so she might end up with another bit of a nap in the car then, but we'll have to pan it out and see how it goes. So we're going to have 5 minutes playing first and tidying up, and then we'll be off. And blah, blah, blah. Mrs. Tantrum. So we've just got back from, or not back from, we've just arrived at Tesco from Baby Sensory. I didn't really want to film in there because it's like Baby Sensory, so I just did a couple of photos and a quick film clip that I will probably have already popped in. So we got to Baby Sensory just before it started. It started at 1:30 and we ended up getting there like 2 minutes before because a road was closed on the way, which was super annoying. But yes, we arrived there just on time, and Emmy had the time of her absolute life. She was laughing and, well, not really singing, trying to sing, climbing all over me, climbing all over other babies climbing on her. She's had the best time, and it's absolutely crazy. We've been doing singing and dancing and playing with all the different toys and elastic band, like a giant elastic band thing. So yeah, I really recommend Baby Sensory. And now we're gonna go into Tesco. There's a happy noise. We've got to get some salad and we've got to get some other bits and pieces for tea. Right, we are back into the car after our shop in Tesco, and I've also just popped into Costa and got a drink, and I'm feeling really bad because it's in a plastic cup, because I don't go to places like Costa or Starbucks or anything, because I don't, I'm just going to start the car, because, oh, the noise came on, there we go, because I don't normally drink hot drinks, I don't drink hot drinks at all. But I drink ice drinks sometimes, and I forgot to bring water with me in my bottle, my reusable bottle. So I went to buy one, then I thought, oh, I wish I had a reusable cup to put this in now. I nearly bought one in there, but I couldn't find the prices on it, and I was getting all stressed, so I was like, I'm just gonna buy a drink, because I never get a drink, and just feel bad about the plastic for this one time. And now Emmy is in need of her nap, because it's been a couple of hours that she's been awake now. So she's hopefully going to fall asleep on the way home. She's looking a little bit sleepy back there. So it's about 3:30 now, so the drive home from here is about 20-ish minutes. So I might have to sit in the car at the other end if she falls asleep, just let her sleep a little bit longer. She did get a good nap this morning, so it's not too bad if she doesn't sleep too long now. And she did have it was nearly 25 minutes on the way here actually, because it took a bit longer because of that road being closed. So not too bad, but we've got quite a bit of stuff to do at home, including making some tea and making some snacks. We have returned and the shopping is put away. The nappy is changed. We pulled into the drive and she, well, I don't know why I keep sitting in front of the window. She woke up as soon as I pulled in. I didn't even switch the car off and she woke up. And so I took the shopping bag in, came back to get her, opened the door, and the most horrific smell came out of the car. And who was it? Emmy Jane. So we've changed that nappy, and now I'm going to give Emmy some vitamins. I've normally just been using the ones that you can get from the health visitors, but I keep forgetting to give her those, and they've now gone out of date, and I'm useless. So we're not going to go into the clinic for another few weeks, so I decided I would just better buy some at Tesco instead. So these ones have got a syringe, which could be interesting. We'll see how she likes them. You never quite know how she's going to take things. I'm trying to escape again. Look at you, where are you going? Yeah, those are the last bits I've got to do. Some of my underwear, pyjamas, things like that. And I've still got some miscellaneous items, which I've got all listed but haven't done anything with yet. Let's see how she likes these vitamins. It wasn't a complete disaster, was it, Emmy? But it's very brightly coloured on your clothes. She got most of it in and just decided to spit out the first little bit. The second bit, she opened her mouth for and was like, yum, 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 yum. And now we're going to get it all over that as well, aren't we? Mummy doesn't have a muslin nearby. I hope it's not sticky, that. Oh dear. I've just finished feeding Emmy. And she's blowing raspberries and giggling to herself. Oh, and trying to climb up me. Where are you going? It's now nearly 4:30, so I'm thinking we might skip Emmy's meal that I'd planned for her. Oh, are you going to show off your laugh for the camera? Emmy. That's a quiet raspberry. So this week she's blowing quiet raspberries instead of doing her big... Oh, sorry, I spat on you. Instead of doing all those, it's like that. Boom. 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 Ouch! Ow, ow, ow. Emmy. Let go, let go, let go. This is Mummy's. Boo! Will you stop eating my hair? Will you stop eating my hair? Emmy, what are we doing now? Uh-oh, new ball's rolled away. Let me get it. Here you go. I've made Emmy a little ball pool in the kitchen in her inflatable ring. I used to use this to contain her while I was doing something else. Nowadays it doesn't seem to contain her all that well because she seems to be spinning around and trying to climb over the edges of it. So I'm keeping a close eye on you in this. But this is so that I can get on with some cooking. And she seems to be lounging in it right now, which is fine. That might contain her a bit better. Wow. And I'm going to make some pinwheels, which I'm sure I must have made before, but I can't remember doing. So I've got set out 3 different lots of ingredients. I'm going to do a tomato and cheese one, an apple and cinnamon one, and I'd planned for the whole thing to be apple and cinnamon, but I've only got 1 apple, so I might have to do another half with the Nutella and banana. So really these 2 are for Emmy to be able to eat. This one probably not, because I don't think chocolate and hazelnut stuff is all that great for her yet. I'm not really sure. We're not giving her chocolate yet though, is the plan. I don't want to completely restrict her from having things like chocolate, but maybe not at 6 months. So I'm gonna see if I've got enough room to get those on as well, because they sound really good. But that might be just for me and Ben. And while we're waiting for the pinwheels to bake, Emmy's having some time in a jumperoo. Are you gonna bounce? Go on, bounce, bounce, good girl. I tried to limit this to sort of 15 minutes if I am using it. Because apparently it's not so great for their hips otherwise, but she absolutely loves being in it, so I think we really should be lifting that up a little bit. Somebody's feet are flat on the floor with their knees bent. I think it needs raising. Gosh, when did that happen? When did you get so big? Right, well, we'll be raising that up a little bit then later on. Woo! You excited for Daddy to come home? Yeah? You excited? Emmy. Boo! Boo! And here are the finished pinwheels. I don't know why that was so squeaky. That's the cheese and tomato ones. They're a bit pizza-like. Then on here you've got the chocolate and banana at one side and the apple and cinnamon at the other side. Some of these ones look a little bit pasty, even though they've had longer. The ones at the back look alright, but I'm sure they're definitely cooked. I did an egg wash on the top of them to give them a bit more of a shine and a bit more of a brown colour, but yeah, these ones don't look quite so coloured. But there you go. And someone's come through with me and is making a right racket down there on the floor. And if you've watched any of my other Day in the Life videos, you'll know that Emmy's favourite toy for a long time has been this foil blanket. And it still is somehow. See how much she loves it? How is this the most fun in the world? I was going to do her a quick feed as the last one before a bedtime feed, but she's decided she's having far too much fun with the foil at the moment, so I'm going to give her 5 minutes of the foil and then a feed. And then we'll do some playing on the floor. I've got out a few different toys now to mix things up a little bit. So we've got, that century scarf was out earlier, but we've got some ribbons on a teething ring. And we've got a wooden giraffe. And I've got her bag over there, which has got a library books in. I think we might have a look at some library books before Daddy gets home. Who's that? Daddy coming in the door. Who's that? Daddy coming in the door. Is it Daddy? Is it Daddy? Yes, it's Daddy. Yes, it's Daddy. Hello.
Oh, you know, I didn't excited you have been past few days.
That was a rubbish reaction for the vlog. She's like, here, Daddy, have my giraffe.
Have a giraffe. Thank you.
I think it's because the camera was on her, she was distracted.
Ooh.
Right, we're going to go and get you bath now soon, aren't we? Say hello to the vlog.
Hello to the vlog.
Hello to the vlog, Emmy.
Underbaked, darling.
How rude. I'm just starting the vlog and you're telling me my food's underbaked.
Well, can you see they haven't?
I did say that. Yeah, no, I did say that on the vlog though. Yeah. We'll put them back in the oven then if you think.
Well, I think that should give them another 10 minutes.
Okay. So what are we having for tea?
We're having a so juicy. It's Italian chicken. And
Maggie.
It's got peppers in it, but Shannon doesn't like peppers, so we won't put peppers in it.
We're just going to do the chicken on the salad, aren't we? That's our what's the word? Staple at the moment.
We'll probably put some like red onions or something in it as well and roast it up with some red onions.
Some beetroot?
Yeah, some beetroot, why not? So we need that.
So, we're going to start this off. What is this, marinating or cooking?
Well, it takes like 50 minutes, doesn't it? It takes a lot longer than you expect.
So we'll start this cooking while we go up to bath Emmy. And then, so we'll do, what we do now is bedtime routine's basically the same, isn't it? But we've got, oh, I didn't buy a cucumber, I've just realised.
Oh, ruined everything.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Emmy, I failed Daddy on the cucumber front.
We even had a conversation about it.
I know, I'm sorry. So, Emmy, just smashed her hand into the lens. So bedtime routine is basically the same as our last video, except somebody's outgrown the baby bath now and goes in the big bath. So we'll do a quick clip of that. And the other thing is that's changed is that we, oh, she's slipping. Is that we now do bedtime feed in the light, followed by a story before she goes down to bed, so that we're separating the bedtime feed from the bedtime, which is very exciting. And I'll probably just show a clip of Emmy in the bath and then we'll...
You need to show my chicken first.
Oh, sorry. I'll show the chicken. But I'll show a clip of Emmy in the bath before putting her down, and that'll probably be the end of the video because I don't want to show the bedtime routine and all that.
We'll end the vlog then, shall we?
And then we'll end the vlog. You want to be a vlogger too, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
What's happening?
Okay, so what I've done is I've got a chicken breast and I've diced it off. Diced up courgette, some red onion, and then you just...
And some beetroot.
And you get the seasoning mix. And you just pour it in. Just like that.
And this bag comes with it as well.
Yeah, there's roasting bag.
So we've had these So Juicy things for ages in the cupboard and we just kind of forgot about them. We don't normally use these sort of things. And it comes with that little tie as well. Yeah, we don't normally use these sort of things and we thought we probably should try it. And then we tried it a couple of weeks ago and it was really, really good, wasn't it?
Well, then you just kind of give it a little shuffle. Get everything cooked in the seasoning mix.
Like the seasoning itself, it like tasted good, but it also... It's like just the right amount. Everything was like, yeah, really juicy.
So Juicy was correct. It was so juicy. So
True that.
Put that in for 45 to 50 minutes on 180 fan.
And then we've got some sweet potato there and we'll put some salad with it as well. And that's going to be our tea for tonight, Emmy. Not yours though. You'll be in bed, honey bun. And here's Emmy in the big bath. Woo! So she can sit up by herself, but I like to keep my hand behind her. We've got Daddy on the other side of the room. He's going to take over in a minute. And we'll swap and I'll go and prepare the room, get all the towel out, get her sleep suit ready, get her sleeping bag ready. Despite what it may sound like, she's having a wonderful time. Splash, splash, splash. And look, her bald spot's nearly gone. Emmy! I think you said Emmy then. Emmy is in bed. She's asleep. She fell asleep while I was feeding her, which wasn't planned. Like I said, I'm trying to at the moment feed her and then read to her before putting her down for bed and keeping her awake. And so she goes down drowsy but awake, but that failed. And I even tried like putting my finger in her mouth trying to see her teeth, which she's got no teeth at all, not even showing at all a little bit. Stop looking so suspicious. So anyway, she's down to sleep now and we are sitting down for the evening and I'm going to finish doing a bit of packing and we're going to watch some YouTube and eat some chicken and salad. Anything to add?
No. Good day.
You can do the sign off bit.
Oh, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to click the like when you like this video, subscribe down below, leave a comment, start a conversation. Bye.
Bye.